This week we're in Death Valley National Park, but if dry desert landscapes aren't your favorite thing, you'll still want to stick around because today we're heading out on an unbelievable hike to one of Death Valley's most underrated natural wonders, a hidden oasis with a surprise waterfall tucked inside one of the driest and hottest places on Earth. Join me along the trail to Darwin Falls. Death Valley National Park covers over 3 million acres of designated wilderness and hundreds of miles of backcountry roads. Now, Darwin Falls is located on the west side of Death Valley, and because of its remote location, the Darwin Falls Trail gets less visitors than some of Death Valley's more popular spots like Badwater Basin, and that makes this a wonderful option if you're passing through Panamint Springs and you want to steer clear of some of those national park crowds. The road to this area is a bit bumpy as it takes you through some of Death Valley's badlands. And once you reach the trailhead parking area, you start out on a completely unassuming, dry, rough gravel path with only a few shrubs that can survive in this harsh desert landscape. This is by no means a long or strenuous hike, but proper footwear is always important for this trail because there are multiple stream crossings and a bit of slick rock scrambling is required to reach the waterfall, so you should be prepared to get a little wet on this hiking adventure. The first quarter mile of this hike continues to look quite barren in true Death Valley fashion, but after half a mile, the canyon path begins to narrow, and soon you'll find yourself entering an almost unreal oasis in this desert, shaded and surrounded by tall trees, lush vegetation, and trickling water. Darwin Falls, the Darwin Wilderness, and the nearby town of Darwin, California were all named after Dr. Darwin French, an army physician who came west in 1846 during the Mexican-American War, and he prospected for silver in the area as a local miner, rancher, and explorer. Whether you're heading out for some sandboarding at the Mesquite Flat Sand Dunes, or you just want to enjoy a leisurely scenic drive to the beautiful colors of Artist Palette, it's important to plan ahead and acquire the proper navigation for your trip to Death Valley. Both the road conditions to Darwin Falls trailhead and the unmarked trail could be tough to follow if you're unfamiliar with the area. And both wind and heat conditions can be unforgiving here, so always bring plenty of water and sun protection too. And please remember the leave no trace principles on your visit to this park, so it can be a wonderful experience for those who visit after you as well. No, this isn't a mirage. Darwin Creek is one of only 4 perennial streams found inside Death Valley National Park. And this incredible trail takes you from the vast desert conditions into a closed canyon, rich with bamboo, ferns, cottonwood, and willows, just to name a few, thanks to the water that flows here year-round, helping create this waterfall. There are actually multiple falls here, but they're mainly divided into the upper and the lower falls, with a small grotto located in between. Most easily viewed, the lower falls plunges almost 20 feet, but combined these falls cascade down 80 feet, making this the highest waterfall in the entire park. The full hike to view Darwin Falls is just over 2 miles out and back, but give yourself plenty of time to explore. And if you want to scramble around towards the upper falls, just be aware that this area can be slip and steep. So always make sure you're adventuring within your personal skill and comfort level here. While it might seem tempting to go for a refreshing dip on a hot day, swimming is strictly prohibited in Darwin Creek and the area surrounding Darwin Falls. Water is a precious and scarce commodity here in Death Valley. This creek is one of the few sources of fresh water for the wildlife here, and it's also a source of local drinking water for the nearby Panamint Springs Resort. Thank you so much for joining me here today inside Death Valley National Park. For more information on Darwin Falls, make sure to check out my full blog post at flyingdawnmarie.com. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and subscribe. Now on my website, I also have a full Death Valley travel section with complete driving direction and pinpoint map locations in a Death Valley travel guide to some of my favorite spots. Until next week, I hope you find adventure and encouragement wherever you go. Bye!